What if the person you loved was hiding a terrible secret? What if the man you thought was human was actually an ancient beast? And what if the child born from that forbidden love carried the blood of both worlds? This is the story of Kael, a young man who grew up believing he was completely human. But on the night before his 20th birthday, his entire life would change. And 15 men would discover the terrifying truth about what was living inside him. But to understand what happened to Kael, we have to go back more than 20 years. To a place known as the Moonlight Forest. For more than 1,000 years, the Moonlight Forest had been protected by a powerful ancient beast. The people living near the forest were terrified of him. They called him the Red-Eyed Demon. They believed he was a monster that killed anyone who entered the forest. But they were wrong. The beast was not evil. He was the guardian of the forest. His job was to protect the forest from humans who wanted to steal its ancient secrets. For hundreds of years he kept dangerous people away. No army could defeat him, no warrior could find him, and no one knew where he came from. But after protecting the forest for more than 1,000 years, the beast became curious about the human world. He wanted to know what was beyond the forest. He wanted to see the cities. He wanted to see how humans lived. And most importantly, he wanted to know what it felt like to live as one of them. So one night, when the moon was full, the ancient beast used his power to take the form of a human man, and he left the forest. That was the night he met Elena. Elena was a beautiful young woman who lived in a small village not far from the forest. One evening she saw the strange man sitting alone beside the road. She noticed something unusual about him. He looked confused, as if he had never seen the world around him before. So she walked over and asked, "Are you lost?" The man looked at her. "Yes." Elena smiled. "Where are you trying to go?" He looked toward the distant lights. "Somewhere I've never been." Elena laughed. "Then maybe you need someone to show you around." She had no idea who she was talking to. She didn't know that the man sitting in front of her was the ancient guardian of the Moonlight Forest. And she certainly didn't know that this meeting would change her life forever. Elena showed him the human world. She taught him how people lived. She taught him how to speak like them. She even taught him how to laugh. And slowly, something unexpected happened. The beast fell in love. He fell in love with Elena, and Elena fell in love with him. After some time, they got married. For the first time in more than 1,000 years, the guardian of the Moonlight Forest was happy. He had a home. He had a wife. And he finally felt like he belonged somewhere. But there was one problem. He had never told Elena the truth. She believed her husband was a normal man. She didn't know that every night, when the moon became bright, something else lived inside him. Then, one night, everything changed. Elena woke up and noticed that her husband was missing. She searched the house. She called his name, but there was no answer. Then she heard something outside, a deep growl. Elena slowly walked toward the window. She looked outside, and what she saw made her blood run cold. Standing beneath the moonlight was a huge beast. Its body was covered in dark fur. Its hands had sharp claws, and its eyes were glowing bright red. Elena couldn't move. Then the beast turned around, and she recognized him. It was her husband. The man she loved, the man she trusted, was the beast. Elena screamed. She ran from the house. She went straight to the village and called the warriors. "There is a monster in my house. Please, you have to kill it." The warriors grabbed their weapons and followed her. Soon they surrounded the house. The beast tried to escape. He didn't want to hurt anyone. But the warriors attacked him. Spears struck his body. Arrows flew through the air. The beast fought back. But there were too many warriors. Eventually the ancient guardian fell. The man who had protected the Moonlight Forest for more than 1,000 years was dead. But there was something Elena didn't know. She was already pregnant. She was carrying the child of the beast she had just helped kill. When Elena discovered she was pregnant, she became terrified. She didn't want the child. She believed the baby would become a monster. She tried everything she could to get rid of the pregnancy, but nothing worked. The child survived. Months later, Elena gave birth, and when she looked at her baby, she froze. The baby looked normal. He was small, beautiful, and completely innocent. Then his eyes opened. They were bright red, just like his father's. Elena stepped backward. "No, The baby looked at her. He reached out his tiny hand, but Elena was terrified. She could only see the monster she believed he would become. She picked up the baby and ran to the sea. She stood at the edge of the water. The baby was crying. Elena was crying too. For a moment she looked at him. She almost changed her mind, but fear took control of her. She threw the baby into the sea, then she ran away. She believed the ocean would take the child, but the ocean had other plans. The baby survived. The waves carried him toward the shore, and early the next morning, a wealthy man named Lord Adrian found him. Adrian was a noble and respected man. When he heard the baby crying, he followed the sound. He found the child lying near the water. There was no mother, no father, no one looking for him. Adrian picked up the baby, and when the baby's red eyes opened, Adrian didn't run. Instead, he felt something strange. He felt peace. So he took the baby home. His wife was not happy. "You brought a strange baby into our home." Adrian looked at the child. "I found him alone. We don't know where he came from. Then we will take care of him until we find out." But they never found his parents, so Adrian decided to raise him. They named the baby Kael, and something strange happened after Kael came into the family. Adrian's life changed. His businesses started making money, his crops became stronger, his investments became successful. Everything Adrian touched seemed to prosper. People began saying that Kael was lucky, but there was a secret behind that luck. One night an old man came to Adrian's house. The old man looked at Kael. Then he looked at Adrian. "That child is different." Adrian asked, "What do you mean?" The old man told him the truth. Kael was not completely human. He carried the blood of the ancient guardian. He was half human and half beast. Adrian was shocked. Then the old man gave him a strange wristband. "Put this on the boy." Adrian did exactly as he was told. The old man continued, "This wristband will keep the beast inside him asleep." Adrian asked, "For how long?" "Until his 20th birthday." Adrian looked at Kael. "And what happens when he turns 20? He will have to learn how to control the beast himself." Then the old man gave Adrian one final warning. "Whatever you do, never let that wristband come off before his 20th birthday." Adrian asked why. The old man looked serious. "If the wristband comes off before his 20th birthday and the beast completely awakens, he will never become human again." Adrian promised to protect the secret. Years passed. Kael grew up. He became a kind young man. He loved Lord Adrian. He respected everyone around him. But sometimes strange things happened. Kael could hear things normal people couldn't hear. He could sense danger before it happened. He was much stronger than other young men, and whenever he became extremely angry, his eyes sometimes turned red. But Kael never understood why. He always asked Adrian about the wristband. "Father, why do I have to wear this?" Adrian always gave him the same answer. "Because I said so." Kael never understood, but he trusted his father. Unfortunately, not everyone in the house loved Kael. Adrian's wife, Margaret, hated him. She believed Kael had taken her husband's attention away from her. She also believed the young man was the reason their family had become so wealthy. Her jealousy slowly turned into hatred. And as Kael's 20th birthday approached, Margaret made a terrible decision. She decided Kael had to die. 5 hours before Kael's 20th birthday, she secretly hired 15 armed men. Her instructions were simple. Take Kael into the forest and kill him. The men found Kael and told him that Lord Adrian needed him. Kael didn't suspect anything. He followed them into the forest. But once they reached a quiet place, the men surrounded him. Kael looked around. "Where is my father?" Nobody answered. Then one of the men pulled out his sword. Kael stepped backward. "What are you doing?" Suddenly they attacked. Kael tried to defend himself, but there were 15 men. He fought as hard as he could. One man struck him, another attacked from behind. Kael fell to the ground. Then one of the men grabbed his arm. And something happened. The wristband broke. It fell into the dirt. Kael stared at it. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then his body began to shake. His breathing became heavy. His eyes turned red. Kael screamed, "What's happening to me?" His bones began to change. His muscles grew larger. His hands became claws. His teeth became sharp. His body transformed. The men stepped backward in terror. One of them whispered, "What is that thing?" Kael gave a terrifying roar. The beast had awakened. The 15 men tried to escape, but the creature was too fast. He attacked them one after another. The men fought back, but they had no chance. Within minutes, all 15 men were dead. Then silence. The beast stood alone in the forest. He looked at his hands. He looked at the bodies around him, and something strange happened. He began to cry. He didn't understand what he had done. He didn't understand what he had become. He fell to his knees. His body was in terrible pain, and through his tears he whispered, "Why? Why am I like this?" Then he heard footsteps. Someone was coming. The beast turned around. It was Mira, the young woman who had loved Kael for years. She had followed him into the forest because she knew something was wrong. And now, she had seen everything. She had seen Kael transform. She had seen the 15 men die. She was terrified. Every part of her body told her to run. But she remembered the man she loved. The kind Kael, the gentle Kael, the man who had always protected her. So instead of running, she walked toward him. The beast growled. Mira stopped. Her heart was beating fast, but she didn't turn around. She looked directly in red eyes and whispered, "Kael." The beast became still. Mira took another step. "Kael, it's me." She slowly raised her hand, then she placed it on his shoulder. The beast trembled. His eyes softened, and then he spoke. "Mira." Mira's eyes filled with tears. "Yes." She knew he was still inside. The monster wasn't completely in control. Kael was still there, but there was something neither of them knew. Kael's transformation had awakened more than just the beast inside him. Somewhere deep within the moonlight forest, something ancient had awakened too. Something that had been waiting for Kael's bloodline to return. Suddenly a terrifying roar echoed through the forest. Mira looked around. What was that? Kael slowly raised his head. He stared toward the darkness. Another roar came. This time it was much closer. Kael's red eyes widened. For the first time the beast inside him looked afraid. Mira held his arms. "Kael." He looked at her and whispered, "Something is coming." But what was coming? Who was waiting inside the moonlight forest? And why had Kael's transformation awakened it? Kael had spent 20 years believing he was human. Now he was about to discover the truth about his father, the truth about his mother, and the terrible secret hidden inside the moonlight forest. But first, he would have to survive the night, because his 20th birthday had only just begun. This story is to be continued in the next episode. Watch out for part 2, The Secret of the Moonlight Forest. If you love this kind of stories, click the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel.